as I filmed this Sharp Saturday video. It is July the 4th, 2020, Independence Day here in the United States. And what better knife to look at on Independence Day than the 100% made in the USA Buck Compadre camp knife. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for trustworthy information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So, as I said, today is Independence Day, July the 4th, 2020, and I thought it'd be really fitting to take a look at a 100% made in the USA knife here on Sharp Saturday for Independence Day. And as I said, I can't think of a better company to take a look at than Buck Knives. They were established in 1902 here. They are a family business, still proudly making gear in the United States. The folks at Buck Knives were kind enough to send me this one so I could show it to you here on Sharp Saturday. By the way, this is a 100% made in the USA knife and sheath for under 100 bucks. I think that's a good deal too. And as you can see, by the way, just to be different, we are not at this Survival on Purpose worldwide headquarters outdoor studio. We've gone remote here into the field to put this one to the test. So hopefully that'll be a break from the standard monotony for you. So anyway, without a lot of rambling, let's get to doing some knife stuff. Okay, so before we get started doing the knife stuff, let's talk about the specs of this thing before we get it all dirty. This is the Buck 104 Compadre camp knife, and as you can see, it is made in the USA. This knife features a 4.5-inch drop point blade of Cerakote cobalt coated 5160 spring steel. For those of you still stuck in that old metric system, and you know who you are because you'll be commenting about this comment, that's 11.4 centimeters and it's 0.16 inches thick at the spine, and the overall length is 9.5 inches or 24.1 centimeters. The grind on this blade is a hollow grind. It is, as you can see, a full tang knife and features natural canvas micarta handles. It has a lanyard hole, a little bit of jimping right here, and a sort of like a sharpening choil right down here, but really that kind of flares out there, so you can sharpen. It's ground a little back into the choil here, but you can sharpen all the way to there. So it looks like a very, very slight recurve here, and then a little bit of a finger guard there, and a little flare on the butt end. And then it is pinned with these torque screws. I guess these are torque star screws. Altogether, it feels really, really nice in your hand. The Compadre comes with a very nice leather sheath, which also is made in the USA, if you can see that. There's a nice nylon strap to fasten across there, and just a simple belt loop on it. The sheath also has a kind of a plastic insert in there to kind of protect it. So there you go. That is the specs of the Buck 104 Compadre camp knife. Now let's get to doing some knife stuff. Okay, first of all, if I can stay in focus here, what I'm gonna do is do the old redneck sharp test like we've been doing, because we can just see how sharp this thing is straight out of the box. Oh man, it is stinking sharp. Golly, look at that. Okay, you see that? Okay, passes that one. While we're doing that, let's just try the paper test. Okay, it passes that one too. Okay, so it's sharp, but it's an all-around camp knife, so it's definitely not a chopper, but I thought we were going to try to be consistent with our testing here. So got this piece of wood, you can hear it ring, it is solid. We just do a little chopping right here. Hopefully I'll be sort of in focus. And then we'll do some other camp stuff, and we'll just see how well this thing works. We'll wrap this up. So let's just try chopping on this right here. I'm gonna kind of get out of the way for a minute. And it's, again, definitely not a chopper, and it's a hollow grind, which doesn't make for the best chopping anyway. But I'm trying to catch my finger on that little swell back there at the okay, so we're going to say this one's not a chopper. I mean, you could chop some small stuff. I think this dogwood is extremely hard anyway, but you know. So yeah, we could, in a pinch, we could chop through it, but probably not its intended use or its best use. So I'm going to grab a saw real quick, cut a chunk of this out so we can do some more work with it. Okay, here we are with the little plastic insert came out. So I don't know if you have to use that. It may have been just for shipping, but I thought it was a good idea, so I left it in there. So we're going to set that aside. So got a couple pieces I sawed out here. This one's got, as you can see, some pretty good knots in it. This one is one I got lazy and tried to break in half, and it's apparently tougher. I mean, it's cut like 3/4 of the way through, and it still did not break all the way through. So it's pretty tough wood. So what we'll do is we're just going to go ahead and do some of that batoning stuff that some people hate. I'm going to do it anyway because I like to. So here we go. It's a full tang knife, and it is a camp knife, and it needs to be able to do stuff like this, right? So, and this is not too difficult to split. This is some pretty dry wood, so definitely not that hard to do. So, but it does give you a good chance to kind of get down into the center. Now let's try this one with some knots in it. This should be a little different test. We'll see how it goes. Here we go. Not too bad. Maybe go across the knots that way. We can cut that sucker right, split it in half. Oh, now we got something tough. Okay, and it went right through, no issues, and a little bit of shiny marks here on the Cerakote coating, but not horrible, and that's to be expected. But it does kind of help minimize the required maintenance. So there's that. This is some pretty dry, clunky kind of wood, but we're going to see how well. Might be able to carve some feathers out of this thing, because, you know, I like to carve me some feathers. So let's just see what we can do. It's got a hollow grind, so it should be pretty good. I'm trying to keep them on here, because don't really have a flat spot to let them accumulate. So if you can let them stay on here, that's good, because that gives you an easy way to maintain them. You don't have to keep up with them if you're in the woods like we are right now. And this is really not the best configuration of wood to feather. I should have split this down a little more, but it gives me a little better chance to get some more edges, because you really just need a little bit of an edge for this thing to ride down to get this really fine curls. But not doing too bad. And this wood's got a little crunchy on the inside, which means it's kind of almost too dry on the inside. It means it doesn't feather very well, curl very well, but that's okay. Let's try this one. See how well it does. Seems to be a little less of the crumbly wood here. Okay, you know where we're going now, so got it cleared out. Got a little water here just in case, and got my BCB ferro rod fire steel here that I ran off and left my main one at home. This one's actually in my briefcase or construction bag, so we'll just try to use it. I'm going to turn this around where I can maybe get to it. Just see how well this thing does on a striking a ferro rod. Not bad. Got a little flame going here, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Don't know if it's going to be enough. Will it be enough? I think it could be enough. We could make it enough. And look, there we go. Bam. There we go. Get you on there. And, well, pretty good. Pretty good job. And this is a reasonably hard ferro rod, too, so passes that test. Let's put this out, though. We don't want to make Smokey the Bear mad, right? So, what else could we do? All right, so that was some of the use testing for the Buck Compadre camp knife. And I got to say, this thing so far is performing flawlessly, in my opinion. It's not a chopper, but it's not really designed to be a chopper. But as far as batoning, carving, striking a ferro rod, all those camp tasks that you might need to do, this is performing very, very well. The finish on it, as you can see, the buck is already wearing off right here. It's not the writing. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's going to happen when you use a knife. However, as you know, here at Survival on Purpose, we like to get all scientific with our knife testing. And while at our worldwide headquarters, we do maintain a state-of-the-art, cutting-edge knife testing facility, as I said earlier, we're here in the field today. So we're going to have to go old school, take it back to the roots, give some people an opportunity to complain about, you know, all sorts of environmental issues that people used to complain about. So poise your fingers over your keyboards, those of you who are concerned about poking trees, because we're about to see how well this thing is balanced. Maybe I got to get my calibration right. That's always a trick here. Oh, first time, I like it. Should we try again? We're going to call this one balanced. Chuck Norris can push himself in a wheelbarrow. Okay, as I said, we're going to call this one balanced. And in my book, the Buck 104 Compadre camp knife is a 100% winner. It's 100% made in the USA, including the leather sheath, for under $100 bucks. The MSRP on this knife is $99.95. The Blade HQ has them for like $79.99, so 80 bucks for a 100% made in the USA Buck quality knife. It features Buck's forever warranty, and again, just extremely capable knife in my opinion. It did, like you saw, everything that you need a knife to do. And if you need to chop with it, it'll do a little chopping. I think you'd probably be better off batoning it through something than chopping, but certainly all that knife stuff, it absolutely excelled at. And I like the fact that it's made in the USA. I like the fact that it's from Buck Knives, because they're a good family-owned business. They have good values. Their values align with my values, I'll put it that way. I've had the opportunity to talk with CJ Buck a couple of times now. Just a super nice guy, and I can't speak highly enough of him or of their company. So anyway, I'll stop rambling. If you're looking for a really good all-around camp knife, made in the USA from a company that stands behind their products, you might want to check out the Buck 104 Compadre camp knife. I'll put a link to this in the video description where you can go and get yours from Blade HQ for just 80 bucks, including this really nice made in the USA leather sheath. So once again, thanks to the folks at Buck Knives for sending me this knife so I can show it to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a new video every Friday and Saturday, sometimes random videos throughout the week. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single one, I invite you to go to survivalonpurpose.com/subscribe. You sign up with a weekly email newsletter every week. I'll send you an email with all kinds of links and stuff in there. So anyway, I really appreciate your support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident. So be prepared, and happy Independence Day to America. I'll see you next time.